Hello everyone and welcome out to this week's edition of Best Weekly Bundle. And we're looking at a few bundles that found online, good games, things like that. However, this week is going to be a little shorter because I only found about 4 bundles that I think are really worth it. First bundle we're going to look at is the Humble Mobile Bundle 12. It's a pay what you want, pay enough unlock, or pay more than the average to unlock more. And the reason this one's on the list is because of the unlock games. The ones we have first are The Last Express, which actually doesn't seem that bad. It's an adventure game for your smartphone, from the creator of Prince of Persia. Looks kind of cool. And then it looks like there's a few shooters, just a few arcade games, not bad for on your phone. But what steals the show in this one is a couple of games from the Pay More Than Average. Monument Valley, which is a puzzle game to play, to put it in the simplest terms. It's kind of like you're playing a game in an M.C. Escher painting. From what I've seen, it looks absolutely wonderful. And it's been getting nothing but rave reviews. You get this and Bleck, which is the other one, which this one's hard to explain. You draw a line, and then when you lift your finger, that line, that motion that you just made, continues. And, it keeps repeating what you just did. And the goal is to collect all the dots without touching the black dots. Kind of an abstract, minimalistic game, but it looks pretty fun. And then lastly, there's Joe Danger, which I admit I have a soft spot for. It's a fun little time waster. And of course, this has only been out for a few days, so it's going to be, there are going to be more announced for this, I think next Monday? Yes, next Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So yeah, I say as it is, this is definitely worth $3.87 for Monument Valley, Bleck, and Joe Danger, and The Last Express just to try. Also, if the arcade thing, Space Team, and Tilt to Live 2, if those end up being awesome, then yeah, this is definitely well worth it. So, Humble Mobile Bundle 12? Yes, 12. All these are for Android only, so if you're Apple user, you're kind of out of luck here. So let's move on to the next one, which is also on Humble Bundle. This is the Humble Weekly Bundle Indie Game Magazine edition, which they're giving away 2 free issues of Indie Game Magazine. I don't really care about this so much. What I do care about is the games that they have. Far Sky, which, not too sure about this one. Apparently you have to learn to survive the depths of the ocean, use the environment to gather resources. It seems kind of interesting. Race the Sun, which is a really unique Infinity Runner style game. I really like it. It's very arcadey, very high speed. It's kind of like an F-Zero Infinite Runner, only it's hard to explain. Definitely worth picking up though, especially for $1. Then there is Arena Cyber Evolution, which is the Founders Pack for an early access game. It's going to be a MOBA, so I'm honestly not too, it doesn't really speak to me. The $1 edition is definitely worth it just for Race the Sun. And if Far Sky ends up being pretty good, then yeah, sweet. Next, pay more than the average, and you get Phoenix Rage, which looks kind of fun. It's a jump dash instant restart levels. It kind of reminds me of Super Meat Boy in a way. And that's not a bad thing. I love Super Meat Boy. It says his village was decimated by a huge explosion, leaving only their hero and the mysterious Arcturus. I don't know. So he has to track down the villain through 9 worlds, defeat brutal bosses, hundreds of minions bent on your destruction. It apparently is going to be a simple platformer game, which I'm betting because it has quick restarts, it's going to be tough as nails. Looks pretty interesting, not going to lie. Then next there was Rack, which is an arcade shooter. Combo your way through this addictive single-player adventure. Honestly, I love single-player shooters, so this might be fun. It also looks really action-packed. So yeah, these four also definitely worth the $4.25 at the time of speaking. Next, there is Brawlhalla. This is the pay 13 or more to unlock. Brawlhalla, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, it looks like a lesser version of Smash Bros. Which, I don't know, isn't a bad thing. I mean, at least there's a 2D platform. There's a Smash Bros. For PC now, pretty much is what it is. It's going to be a free-to-play game, so why are you paying for this? Well, you get beta access, a founder's nameplate, looks like a skin, exclusive Steampunk Valkyrie, and $15 worth of Mammoth coins, which I'm assuming is the in-game currency. It doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look as good as Smash, and I have a Wii U, so and lastly is, for this pack, is Freedom Planet, which actually looks pretty damn good. From what I understand, it does have a lot of furry influence, but at the same time, it actually looks like a damn good game. The voice acting is kind of but I don't know. It sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon, which can be good, can be bad, but I don't know. Gameplay-wise, though, which is the important part, it looks fun as hell. It looks like Sonic. It looks like the classic Sonic games with some twists added in and some more characters. Actually, if I could liken it to anything, it'd be the Sonic Advance games, where you had all the characters to choose from, and it looks really good. But for $13, I'm not so sure. I guess it would be worth it because then you could try Brawlhalla for yourself, and plus you get all the previously mentioned games in the pack. So for $13, I can see that being, a decent game, and the money goes to charity. So hey, why not? All right, so that does it for the indie bundle, the humble indie bundle. So let's hop on over to one of my new favorite sites. Do you like crazy first-person shooters with waves of enemies, ridiculous weapons, and just, killing things, especially demons? Well, Painkiller is coming out. There's a Painkiller bundle on Bundle Stars, and it is all of the classic Painkiller games, plus the expansions. It's just the first game, not the second game, which we don't really talk about. So it comes with Painkiller Black Edition, Painkiller Overdose, Painkiller Reoccurring Evil, Painkiller Redemption, and Painkiller Resurrection. All of this in a bundle for $5. Pretty much you're paying $1 a game. And this is a really good deal. Painkiller, if you've never played it, is addictive as hell. It's great. It's fun. You can't go wrong with this bundle for $5. If you don't know what Painkiller is, but you like old-style FPS games, like Quake, things like that, or arena shooters where, you just fight waves of enemies, move on to the next area, kind of like Serious Sam, then this is a game that you would most likely enjoy. And it is well worth the $5 for an action-packed ride through hell. So, yeah. And lastly, I saved the best bundle that I have found this week. So let's take a look. With the Painkiller bundle, Bundle Stars is becoming probably my favorite bundle site out of a lot. It's a shame a lot of people don't know about it. And looking at their new Killer bundle, it is definitely more than worth it. All of the games that you get look amazing, or at least, decent. For example, there's Planetary Annihilation, which is it looks like a strategy game where you fight for control of planets. Looks pretty cool. It's annihilate homeworlds, exterminate your foes in epic interplanetary battles, multiple players, thousands of units, Planetary Annihilation. It's pretty much a planet by planet thing. It looks pretty cool. Of Orcs and Men, this looks pretty cool. It does look hokey as fuck, and it looks really cheesy, but it looks really fun, though. The vast empire of men tries to extend its dominion over the territories of orcs and goblins who are systematically persecuted, enslaved, and massacred. Through this great role-playing game, lead a fearsome orc warrior and a goblin master of assassination and stealth. So, pretty much, it's an orc game where you're playing as an orc. So that's a thumbs up for me right there. Stalker, Call of Puripet. I can never pronounce that correctly. Is part of the Stalker games, which I really enjoy those. So yeah, another reason to get this. It came from space and ate our brains. This game looks it's a greenlit game. And it is a top-down, what looks to be a dual joystick shooter, but with a neat aesthetic. Nothing that I would be too particularly interested in, but it looks neat, doesn't look like anything too terrible. I also believe it has multiplayer, so, it might be fun to sit down with your friends and give it a go. I'm going to see if I can find if it says single-player multiplayer anywhere. Yes, I see a co-op tag on the Steam page. So, yeah, that could be fun. What's the next one? Super Motherload. This game looks interesting. It's a it's a Cold War alternate Cold War era Super Motherload. Sorry, 1 to 4 player couch co-op digging adventure with storylines. With a storyline by Image Comics Curtis Webby. Webby? I don't know. Fully voice cast of Soviet and American characters, procedurally generated world that changes each time you play. It looks pretty cool. It's kind of hard to explain what it looks like as far as gameplay-wise go, but it looks kind of like you're digging through the earth, competing, trying to get enough resources, things like that. It looks addictive as fuck. I'll put it like that. It's a top-down style, too. The Cold War, alternate Cold War setting does actually sound interesting to me. So that's also something I think would be worth it. Merchants of Kaadan, which also looks odd, but not in a bad way. It looks kind of like there's some point-and-click elements to it. You have to regain your riches, restore your honor, and avenge your father's murder. A challenging trading game with lots of RPG elements, and it looks like you're a trader in a fantasy world. So, that's kind of cool. You have to, let's see, game features, complex trading algorithms, so if that's something you're into. Over 100 quests, each with multiple steps to success. 2 out of 10 planned mini-games that accompany the events, with next ones in the upcoming update. So they're still updating this as it goes on, so... Possibly to create a sponsorship with other traders. Control 3 characters simultaneously. 1 main, 2 quick scenarios. So on and so forth. 15 types of goods to trade, varying characters, some illegal, some perishable, and beautiful hand-drawn locations. And looking at the art for this, it looks very, very pretty. It does have 4 storylines each with many quests. Or 4 storylines each with many quests, yeah. Main quest, which is about avenging your father's murder, and 3 side quest lines. And is over 100 quests in all, so however long each quest would take, it seems like this could keep you entranced for a while. It doesn't seem like a bad game at all. It seems pretty cool, actually. I played, what was it, Recettear, which was kind of a trading game, and this looks somewhat similar to that, but I'm not too positive. I do like the idea of kind of being a merchant, though, in a fantasy world. That's always been something that, you don't see much of. So, anyway, next one, the original Strife Veteran Edition. This is a classic 1996 game that has gotten an upgrade, a nice little facelift. Hailed as the original FPS RPG that spawned countless imitators. Strife Veteran Edition is a love letter to the classic from 1996. High resolution graphics, proper aspect ratio. It looks like they took the original game and kind of, they made it look nicer, lets it work on modern day computers, and it actually uses the original Doom engine, which is pretty cool. Elaborate virtual environment offers 28 interconnected levels covering over 200 square miles. Explore medieval towns, industrial complexes filled with pitfalls and perils, ending in a final confrontation that will reveal the planet's darkest secrets. If you're a fan of Doom games, things like that, this definitely looks like something up your alley. You can buy it on its own for $10, but you might as well go with a bundle. You'll see why. Survivalist is the next one, which looks to be a kind of a top-down zombie survival sort of thing. Apparently it has gotten a lot of good reviews. I'm not really big into zombie games. I've never really, except for the Walking Dead games, I never really got into them. But it apparently is an action RPG, real-time elements, and it looks kind of neat, like a, what would be a good, Baldur's Gate almost, only with zombies and stuff. That, if that's kind of how it is, I'm more than happy about that. It'd be something to try. Might not be for everyone, but if you're into zombie games, could do worse. Let's see. Spark Rising. This is actually an early access game. Don't know much about it other than that it's a sandbox FPS where you build up your power, fight back against a mad god that is tearing the galaxy asunder. You have to betray your master god, save what's left before reality is twisted. The problem is, how do you fight back against a god that can break heaven and hell and earth? Plunder rare crystals and loot to build enough power to fight back. Perhaps the story might end with you as a hero. Some of the big things it says it has massive battles. Looking at these screenshots, that does seem to be the case. It looks pretty neat. It's kind of like a Minecraft voxel-based looking world, only with crazy arena shooter bits. So that could be pretty fun. It's an early access game, so it's going to be getting, more and more and more updates as time goes on. And lastly, we have one that particularly intrigued me. Letterquest, Grimm's Journey. Letterquest, from what I've seen, is what they say, what would happen if you crossed Scrabble with an RPG. I love word games. I love puzzle games. I love RPGs. This sounds like a dream come true, and it looks fun as hell. Grimm's Quest, or Letterquest Grimm's Journey, pretty much that's what it is. It's Scrabble mixed with an RPG. You're a reaper, a couple of adorable reapers defeating monsters, ghosts, evil bunnies, using the power of words. It looks pretty fun, actually. I would probably get addicted to this. Anyway, that's the Killer Bundle, and you get all of those, all 10 games for $5. That's 50 cents a game. You can get Strife 50 cents of Orcs and Men, which is a $30 game for 50 cents. There's no reason not to do this, which is why this has become one of my favorite sites. It's pretty damn good. It is that good. None of these games have, all of these games have mostly positive feedback from them on their Steam pages, if not very positive. So these are grade A, cream of the crop stuff, which this is why I gotta praise Bundle Stars here. Holy crap. This is good shit. If you guys keep bringing out games of this caliber for bundles, then, I'm down. So that's going to wrap up this week of Best Weekly Bundles. Obviously the standout one for me was the Killer Bundle. The Painkiller Bundle is pretty cool. The Mobile Bundle is pretty neat if you're looking just for a mobile game. But if you want to get the weekly bundle, the indie game bundle with Freedom Planet, you're going to have to act fast because you have about 18 hours, which would be at the time of this recording. So it's going to be done soon. So if you're seeing this and that looked good to you, you might want to go and grab that. It's definitely worth it for the buck for Race to the Sun. So anyway, until next time, this has been the Mayor of Gaming. Have a good one.